And both players reluctant to attack at the moment. It seems that they've both decided on a defensive position, and they will both be gathering their army until they see fit to attack. Um, Socke has got an observer outside of Goody's base, and he's now learned his lesson. He's not going to move any closer, but he will get advance notice if Goody chooses to move out.
Looks like Goody trying to expand once more. We'll see where he takes that command center. Good line of siege tanks set up here. It's going to be really hard for Socke to crack this, but he's going to bring his warp prism up here on the high ground and try to do to Goody what Goody did to Socke moments ago, and bring the hurt down. But a medevac here. Oh, and this medevac's going to get caught out with. Unfortunate micro there, was able to drop down one Marauder. He's going to find out what Socke's plan is, but he lost quite a few units in that medevac. Not to mention the medevac itself. Vikings going to come up here, see if they can take down this war prism, and it looks like they will, pretty much uncontested. And this attack has failed for now.
And those phoenixes choosing to run away instead of help their stalker brethren out. Not sure if they would have been able to destroy the Vikings with the help of the phoenixes, but I would bet that they would have helped. And Socke moving through the center of the map here. Looks like he's going to blink into Goody's base. Oh, no, instead he's just going to the tower.
Socke probably looking out for an expansion of Goodies, but right now, medevac drop has brought a few Marauders back down to the back of Socke's base, but these Phoenixes should be able to handle this, along with a few High Templar.
Templar archives are being damaged, and it will not go down.
It's not going to go down. The shields will regenerate on that, and it should be fine for now. Looks like Socke's going to probably push out here. Oh, and Goody, very bold, very boldly is going to go for the gold minerals that divides these two players, as well as a northern expansion. Simultaneous expansion here for the Terran. Siege
Stop
tank
warping
line.
into High Templar for an instant Psystorm.
And here comes one of the major battles. Phoenixes are going to lift up those forward siege tanks. Stalkers should be able to take those down, but getting really pounded by the siege tanks at this point. The High Templars have to act here.
Yeah, taking out those siege tanks was a very strong move by Socke. But there are more where that came from, and Socke knows it. He will not be moving in any further at the moment.
I would have loved to see him use more Psystorms there. It looks like he only managed to get one or two out on the back siege tanks. Had he laid down some storms early and often on the initial siege tanks, that could have gone a lot better for the Protoss.
And one of Socke's High Templar is actually at full psi, and he is now, some would consider him to be wasting that regeneration. He should be moving in and using that storm.
Yeah, but two of them right now with lots of energy. I don't know what he was thinking there, but he could have definitely inflicted a lot more damage if he had cast at least two more storms there. Now Socke is gonna patrol around, see Goody's northern expansion. Meanwhile, he gets his own western expansion, and looks like Socke is gonna take this opportunity to bring some units over to the northern expansion, but no, he's going to be pressured by some Vikings, some towers. Might not be able to get any units, or a significant amount of units over there, but he is going to bring a couple of zealots and build a forward pylon so he can warp in enough units to take down that expansion. It doesn't look good for Goody's expansion in the north.
Yeah, but more siege tanks are moving in. Goody now has a lot of siege tanks. That's 11 siege tanks right by his expansion.
Yeah, and these Archons, very, very tough units, but that is a lot to ask of these Archons. Again, not as many storms as we would have liked to see. Maybe put those Archons in the front line, have them tank, really storm up this place, but it's just not happening right now for Socke. Socke is going to be able to push out this northern expansion. Goody probably going to fly himself to the island where Zealots cannot reach.
Missile turrets easily taking out all of Socke's phoenixes in that last battle, and now Socke is left with not much to defend his bases.
Yeah, I mean, a few minutes ago I thought that Goody might be pushing too hard with siege tanks and that he could do himself a favor by getting a little bit more air, but it looks like just turrets and a couple of roaming Vikings are enough to handle these threats. No Void Rays out on the field, no carriers, just Phoenixes so far for the Protoss, and I think he really, really could do himself a great service by bringing in some carriers.
Socke losing all but one of his stalkers. Oh, he did lose the last one. Socke losing all of his stalkers attempting to take out some SCVs at Goody's expansion. That was definitely not a good exchange for Socke.
And now Goody gonna mule up this island expansion here, and gonna get that going as fast as he humanly can.
Both players still playing very defensively. Goody is still not attacking despite his significant army advantage at the current time.
Income pretty even right now. Advantage goes to Goody as far as minerals. Gas very, very close. And here come a few Hellions to try to harass this western expansion. They probably will be able to take a few workers down, but these stalkers and a storm will probably take them down pretty quickly. Good movement there on the probes by Socke. Good micro to get those probes out of the line of fire of the Hellions, but the Hellions probably going to go down to these stalkers without killing very much, and that is indeed what happens. Another starport. That's two more at this western expansion for Socke.
And a very small force for Socke, idling in the middle of the map now. He's really hesitating here. He knows he's going to be up against a lot of siege tanks. He knows that his Phoenixes aren't going to stand a chance against Goody's towers. Socke is not sure what to do at this point in the game.
Right now, Socke trying to get another expansion at his natural to the western expansion, but Goody again dropping up on the high ground with siege tanks, doing that to great effect during this game, and he's going to bring this down to this expansion before it even starts mining.
Well, Socke's got a couple Phoenixes moving in. He should be able to stop these siege tanks, or at least destroy the medevac that brought them over.
There we go, and this expansion will be saved by quick thinking by Socke, bringing his army over. He's not going to fall for this high ground harass again. But now Goody's going to take his opportunity while Socke's army is clearly diverted and bring his entire siege tank line down right outside of Socke's natural, and this does not look good.
Goody's base is in big trouble here. I think it may be the end.
Yeah, this is going to be hard to push for Socke. He does not have the units to come out here and harass. What is he? He's finally building carriers, which I think would have been the right idea a while ago. Great counter to siege tanks are the carriers. But right now,
Goody's has actually very little anti-air in his army, but those siege tanks are just going to destroy the base so fast. It doesn't even matter if the carrier is able to take out a couple.
And Goody's income absolutely dominating right now. He's dominating on the workers. He's dominating on the income. This is all but GG right now, folks. There is not much save these two carriers that can push back these siege tanks. But I think
Socke not ready to give up yet.
I think right now these carriers will do their due diligence and destroy quite a few of these siege tanks with not much that Goody can do about it, but the damage really has been done.
Yeah, the remaining buildings in Socke's main base will be going down in the next few minutes.
And Socke quite severely supply blocked at this point.
Yeah, and Goody is at maximum units, 200 over 200. Far ahead of Socke. And Goody moving out with his siege tanks, opting to defend his remaining expansions and simply leaving the Hellions to finish off the remainder of Socke's base, and now actually moving out with those Hellions as well.
Absolutely, with Goody's income, he can retreat back to his base and try to get the units that will absolutely finish this off and take care of the carriers. But right now, Socke going with a warp prism up at the northwestern expansion of Goody, and maybe he's going to see how much damage he can do. Two Marauders and a missile turret, or two missile turrets, sorry, up at this northwest expansion, this island expansion. But it probably won't be enough to take down an army of a considerable size that he could probably warp in. Now, finally getting to the point where he's over supply block. couple more Hellions trying to harass this western expansion, but I think with this cannon and this High Templar protecting it, the Hellions just aren't going to do enough.
And Socke's got an army here at his western expansion that's not really doing anything. He knows that he's going to face a formidable opponent if he tries to use that army, but it would be better than nothing at this point.
Right now, Goody's army, complete with 4 Thors, going to push out here and try to finish this game right now.
4 Thors and 13 siege tanks moving in. 3 Hellions at the front. And the siege tanks are going to siege up.
Oh, but they are going to
take a couple Psy Storms.
They are. See, that's what I'm talking about with those Psy Storms. Had he done that in the earlier exchange with the siege tanks, plus 2 carriers, those siege tanks cannot handle that punishment.
But it looks like
1 carrier will go
Socke
down
did not
to
do
Vikings.
enough damage to Goody. And those carriers are both going to go down to 4 Vikings.
Socke has managed to even up the income a little bit with his harassment on the northwest expansion, but still the edge goes to Goody as far as income.
Gotta hand it to Socke. He has a lot of heart, showing great resilience at the end of this game against all odds.
Absolutely. It's where the great games truly come out, when a player can surprise you in this way, when the going gets tough and it looks like the game is over, and produce some really nice action.
It looks like the action will be all but over. We've been not rooting against, but voting against Socke for the past 10-15 minutes now, and he still refuses to quit the game. He's not offering a GG quite yet.
Yeah, well, he's definitely got a lot of dignity back in these last few minutes, of these last few exchanges, totally decimating Goody's rather considerable siege tank line with those storms and carriers, which is exactly the strategy that he should have used. So fair play to Socke. Looking like this game is out of his hands, but definitely showing us that
2 more carriers going up against 14 Vikings, and they will not stand a chance. I doubt a single Viking will go down. Psy Storm going down and not really doing much. It's all desperate here for Socke. And with Thors and siege tanks outside of his base, now the Thors are walking up the ramp. And they'll find nothing to defend against them.
This definitely,
except a couple Psy Storms.
The Thors will take down those High Templars before they even get a chance to storm, and Socke, without even GGing, just leaves the game. He knows that he was outmatched today in this game, but a pretty entertaining game, I got to say, Baez. Even though Goody exerted his authority throughout the game, Socke really produced some great moments of action.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, so that's it for us at the Wood League. I hope you enjoyed this game, and we'll see you next time.